to a Halloween special. Ah, 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 ah.
Welcome, fellow YouTube travelers. I am Baronen, and I'm on a mission to learn art. I want to apologize for sounding a little bit stuffy. I have a cold that is hard to shake, but you'll just have to live with it. What you're watching here is my latest illustration. I knew I wanted to do something fun for Halloween, and since I've been doing a lot of anatomies lately, I knew I wanted to do something on the theme. And for me, the pumpkin is by far the most iconic Halloween symbol. So I also wanted to do something with a pumpkin. And therefore I came up with the idea to do how the skull of a pumpkin would look like, or a Halloween pumpkin skull would look like. And that was the idea. So I gathered some reference for both pumpkins and skulls, and then I got to sketching. This is probably one of the longest illustrations I've done. It took me about 5 hours to complete, and partly that is because I chose to do this on the computer instead of the iPad, where I have to use the tablet, which I'm not as proficient in, and partly is because it's one of the more complicated illustrations I've done lately, apart from the bones of the hand, which took me a lot longer. While you're watching this, I want to talk a little bit about how I feel about art right now. So right now I'm very motivated to keep drawing and keep painting. I have a lot of motivation and inspiration right now, which I know is not gonna be the case forever, but right now I'm just riding the wave, and I know that a lot of motivation comes from starting this YouTube channel. Even though I don't get a lot of views, I've set the goal to release a new video every week, and so far I've been able to do that, and that feels good, and it is really fun to have a challenge like that, and it also keeps me accountable to keep doing art, because then I have something to do the art for, not just to put it in a folder somewhere and forget about it, but to actually show it to someone. And hopefully this motivation and inspiration will go on for a bit longer, and when I run out of it, maybe I can find another motivation. And right now, a lot of the fun in the art for me is the challenge of learning new things and discovering. I had a lot of fun just trying out new things, like drawing on paper again, and drawing on the tablet, on the computer again, and rediscovering and discovering new things has been a lot of fun. And this doesn't mean that I'm always entirely happy with all the art that I do. I still see flaws, I still doubt myself sometimes. For example, this piece, at one point, this piece felt like crap, felt very bad. I didn't like it at all. I thought it looked very amateur-like, which I didn't enjoy. But then I went to sleep on it, and then I came back the next morning, and I did some small changes, and then it started to look like something I enjoyed. And that is something I've learned from these last weeks, is that I think when I was younger, when I tried to draw something, I always try to draw it in one go, and I never allowed myself to do multiple sessions for anything, which resulted in me never finishing anything. So there were a lot of unfinished pieces of art in my sketchbook because I got to a point where I didn't really like it, and then I just stopped and I never came back to it. And that is something I've learned now, that is, I allow myself to take time and I allow myself to do multiple sessions because I work better that way, and I believe most artists do most of their bigger art pieces in sessions. So that's something I've realized and learned from. And that's also something I'm very proud of these last weeks, is that I've actually done a lot of finished illustrations, which is not like me at all, because as I said, I usually don't end up finishing the pieces that I start. I have a lot of hobbies and a lot of projects that I start and I get really into, but then I lose interest or something happens and I miss a day or two, and then I have a very hard time finding back. But since I started this YouTube channel, I have been consistent with completing my artworks. I'm very happy about that. This is the point where I really didn't like how the painting looked, and I started to try out some effects that I have thought of, which I ended up doing in the end, but in a different way. And I think it did help the piece in the end to have a little bit of color rather than just black and white. It also hides some of the more unfinished pieces. I just want to end off with saying that I'm really happy with how the illustration ended up, how it ended up looking. I know that it's not perfect, but I will probably never do perfect art, and there will always be some things to work on. Right now there's a lot of things to work on, but I see that as fun, and it's gonna be a fun challenge to get better at those things, and hopefully I will be able to get some feedback. Maybe you want to leave some feedback in the comments. That would be very welcome. I think that's all I had to say about this right now. So I hope you enjoyed listening to me, and I also hope that you like what I've drawn. And if you do, please leave a like. If you want to hear and see more from me, click the subscribe button so that you don't miss any upcoming uploads. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye.